Okay, so today we are gonna be talking about the latest update on the border situation in which Japan border has been closed again due to the new variant that has comes into Japan today. As of today, I think around two people have already gotten this new variant in Japan. So first of all, the last week the government has been, or maybe this Monday, the government has been saying that it will close the border for 1 month from November 30th to the December 30th of December, like that, around that time. So 1 month closing, 30 days, I think, around 30, 31 days. And then this has caused many people to give up on going to Japan, in which case, due to Japan, us, not because the reason is that Japan has been saying in such a weird way that it feels like we are heading towards the same situation as we had in last year, in which it's gonna be 1 month and then it's gonna extend slowly and surely into a year. So that's the problem. And so far, from what I have heard, is that there have been only within these 11 12 days of border opening, there has been only around 100 foreigners. So it includes student, business, and technical trainees and workers that have able to come into Japan and gotten their visa, but the rest are like this. So basically, the number is only reduced by 100, and there's a lot more of people stuck outside of Japan, not able to get the visas. And now the real problem comes when we are seeing the border close again with more and more issues around that, like banning of Japanese people also to travel outside of Japan and come back to Japan at the same time, and also banning of reservation of flight tickets, which they have reversed. I think around 2 days ago. I think around 2 or 3 days ago, due to Japanese people are getting basically complaining about it. So this is a typical government ways of working. Basically, if foreigners are complaining for almost 2 years and they still want to open it up, and then while Japanese people, when they complain directly, it works because it all comes down towards the one thing that they are keeping in mind is that their political standing, in which if they just open it up, they are afraid that Japanese people would not vote for him in the future. That's the problem. And that is apparent when he needs at least 1 year to slowly open back up. It takes him only a snap of finger, around 1 2 days, 1 or 2 days, to just close it up again. And this, I would say, is the big problem. And also, I do saw that some statistics says that 99%, 97 to 99% of Japanese people do agree on these border measures, like entry ban, like that. Well, I would say it's not this statistics is not biased. It's I would say it's biased. It's biased, very biased. That I would say you can't really trust this data, since from what I have heard and see from other YouTubers trying to interview people, Japanese people, they do a lot of them. Most of them do want Japan to open back up. So this problem has causing people to get mad, and also WHO has been talking about it. Like, they're saying that these border measures is not right. These blanket ban or blanket measures is not the way to go in the future or even now. And that Omicron variant is not as dangerous as other variants. It can be dealt like Delta variant. And I do feel like Omicron is somewhat of a breakthrough, but at the same time, who knows how many Greek letters there is left. that they can occupy. But jokes aside, this is the big issue that we are still facing on Japan travel ban, and also there has been a petition from Europe and from a lot of places, and also there has been a lot of interviews from NHK, Asahi TV, Asahi, and then other news outlets about this problem. And also the foreign someone like Takao-san, who also worked as a press in foreign situation, not only MOFA. FCCJ, the FCCJ has been also talking about the criticizing the border ban. And this, for me, this will be all my opinion now, is that a little bit sad, from what I have heard is that this ban can last up to 1 more year, from what I think. But this also is a little bit different from any other from the last year ban, because there's only one excuse that they will close the border, and this is Omicron virus variant. And if this can be done pretty well within this 1 month, then they have no more excuse to not open the border, because if if ever they don't have any excuses, then they need to open it up either way. And that's the positive that I will take. The negative though is that this is prolonging more and more people to wait for to enter Japan, and some of them do. A lot of them, most of them, in fact, have already given up on going to Japan, and instead shifting their focus towards South Korea. And the reason is that they can't really wait for any longer, because they are financially crisis. They have financial crisis. They need money to sustain themselves outside of Japan if they want to come to Japan. Another thing is mentally they're tired already. They are very tired, depressed, and they just want to go to Japan. But if they can't do that, well, what's the closest towards Japan is South Korea. That's everything. So they go to South Korea and dump their idea of going towards Japan to study or to work. And it's quite sad, to be honest. But from what I predicted, in December 31st, they will really open up. Either that or they will extend it for another month. But after 1 more month, they will, in January, end of January, they will have to open up, even if they want it or not. Three reasons is that number one is that lack of labor. When there is a lack of labor, they have no choice, because labor outside of Japan is cheaper than inside of Japan locally. And if they are not enough labor, then the second problem would be inflation, in which Japan will have to face inflation, goods prices, everything will shoot up like nonsense, and then recession would happen, and then problem bankruptcy will be the third problem. Bankruptcy all across the country would happen in Japan, and one of the thing that I do really hope is that Kyoto is on the brink of bankruptcy, and this is not a joke. Like a prefecture, well, is yeah, a prefecture or city is on the brink of bankruptcy, and this shows the lack of care that they do give towards this economy, because of their political standing, or they care more about the political image from the Japanese people. If only they do damage it by opening up, then they would not win in the next election. That's a dangerous thing. And if you look at the poll, not the poll, election result, I'd say, to be honest, they are losing quite heavily from before due to Corona and how they handle it. And they don't want that to happen, so they must do it just to appease some of the Japanese people who support it. I don't know who it is, but for me personally, I don't think they can sustain it any longer than 1 or 2 months. That's the thing. After 2 months, they will have to open up, and partly due to them don't want people to die or suffer from economy problem, and it will when Kyoto do bankrupt, then they would know how severe it is. Because now I do think that they are blindly just blind on it. They are blind on how severe the situation is for them. And if they are not blind, then they would have done take a lot of measures that would really open up the border and let people as quickly as possible. But instead, what they do is they shut down. In which case, I do see is that they are blindly not seeing the severe problem they're having, and local travel will not really help sustain the situation in Japan, economic situation in Japan, because Japan basically logically, if you are thinking about it, the average age population around Japan is old, around 40 something years old, which means that the majority of Japanese people are around 60, 70, 80, or 50, around that 50 years old, 60, 70, 80 years old. And when that really happen, when what's caused the problem is that they most of them would definitely not want to travel even locally, and because of their past mindset in which that they would rather stay at home during holiday or retirement, resting rather than go and travel. And this is problem in Japan, and this is a big problem in the future, as you can see if they don't allow foreigners to come in to Japan. Their idea of go to travel will not work unless there is foreigners in Japan. Younger Japanese people can travel, but it will not impact as much as foreigners living in Japan with a purpose. They do want to travel to what each they want to experience what Japan really like in each part of prefecture, and they find Japan that is unique. But when Japan has done it to us, like they're disrespectful, like blocking us from going to Japan. We do have a purpose. It's not like we are going there just to have fun. We go there to study, to work, to help revitalize Japanese economy. And when they do that to us, like blocking them, say basically just not letting us in and let us wait for 2 years, it's already too much from what I would say. And I do hope that Japan would really see what the problem is, because if they don't, then it's far more than COVID. COVID six wave, if it happens or not, they could still at least protect it by their preparedness. They already prepared it. But one thing that they have not prepared is their economies. And once the economy collapses, then the people will realize that they need foreigners to sustain their economy. Number one, and when that happens, then Japan will have to open it up, and I would predict that it will happen within 2 months if they really just force it close like that. But what I would say is that we have to hold up for another 2 months at least to that we have to force them to open up. Basically, that's the thing. And to do that, yeah, we have to keep putting more and more pressure through interviews, through TV appearance, through what you call petition and all of that, through big names, big people like YouTuber or whoever it is, big people, big famous person who can influence Japan to open up. That's the answer. But I think that's it for now, guys. For the update, many things have been going on these past few weeks, few days, that I do feel down, depressed, and angry again. But at the same time, I do accept that pain, and now, yeah, I do need time to actually take into heart everything that has been going on, to chew everything up, and to understand what's going on. Because that's why I can't just directly put the video out without knowing and understanding the reason why they are closing the border. But I think you guys would know about it. Yeah, I mean that's it for now, guys. What can we do? I'm just waiting for more and more days. And hopefully you guys like this video, subscribe and share this video. So hopefully the pen will open in the future. And that's it for now, guys. See you guys next time. Bye bye.